Okay, it seems I'm live. So welcome back, aliens, to another live session. This is the seventh day of, is it seventh? Yeah, day seven for our live sessions. We started last week and yesterday we were not able to do that live because of some other work. But I'm back with the another live session and I hope you are excited too. I can see a lot of people already joined this live session. Hit that like button if you are enjoying these sessions. And yeah, today we have some important topic to discuss. We are going to work with. Let me just check. Yeah, so we are going to work with constructors encapsulation. In the last session, we have talked about object and classes, and of course, in the upcoming videos, we are going to talk about object and classes, right? So those things will be coming for sure. Okay. Uh, okay. Now, a few things to discuss before we start. Uh, One, yeah, so I want to talk about assignment. I want to talk about Menti and the video as well. Okay, anyone facing the video lag? I can see Akshay says video is lagging. Is it only for Akshay or for everyone? Okay, so the first thing we want to talk about is assignment, second, Menti, and third is about the upcoming, I mean, what about tomorrow? Do we have a class tomorrow or when will be the next session? In fact, let's start with that first. Okay, so basically on Saturday and Sunday at Aniton office, we are going for Hackathon 3, which will be which we are doing in collaboration with Mu Sigma, and this will be a AI ML domain hackathon. Now, in fact, in that it is not just an hackathon; it's also a jobathon where you will be having a lot of people. So a lot of people will be hired there. Okay, so for that, basically, I'm traveling tomorrow. So currently, I'm in Mumbai. I will be traveling tomorrow to Bangalore. I'll be there in the Bangalore office. And if you are coming for the hackathons, I'll be there. I'll be there with you for the hackathon. Okay, great. That's one. So tomorrow we don't have a session. The next session will be directly on Tuesday because tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'm traveling. So it's next session will be on Tuesday. Okay, next thing about the Menti. From today, will not be playing Menti because of some issues. People were able to hack Mentis, and I had a doubt before, but then yes, in the last session, I realized the hack, how it is getting hacked, and what are things which is happening. Now, first of all, people who are able to hack the system, it's actually illegal. It's actually wrong to hack a system. I mean, yes, if it is easily hackable, people thought, hey, Menti is providing all the answers, then why you have to play and why you have to win? Basically, that's wrong. Okay, cheating is actually wrong. Doesn't matter, are you doing it in real life, in the virtual world as an alien, or you're doing as a human in real world. Cheating is wrong. So I know you won the prizes. That's great. But again, there were few people they were able to win because of their knowledge, and there were few they won because they were able to cheat. So actually, I'm not happy because of what happened. But anyway, I tried my best to educate you people. I tried my best to keep you interested in learning, and I think I was able to do that. Okay, so yeah, so maybe we can play Menti without prizes, but again, there are a few people they just want to get their name on the screen and they will cheat. So I'm looking for an alternative. Maybe we'll play Menti in future without prizes, but I'm looking for an alternative where I can do the same thing uh, without Menti. Okay, great. Um, okay, so that's the thing. Menti is no more be happening on this channel, at least for till we find a good solution. Yeah, Menti is helpful, right? Okay, cool. Let me try that. Let me try that. Playing Menti without prizes. Okay, that's the thing. Next, we have an announcement regarding the assignment. Yes, I was supposed to announce about the winner for the assignment on Monday, but it got delayed. I got busy with something else, and now today we are going to announce the winner. Okay, so here we go. I'm sharing. Okay, first of all, why I choose this particular solution. Now, first of all, thank you so much, everyone. In fact, looking at your response for the assignment, your excitement, the effort which you have put in is excellent. But then when I looked at the code, it was actually difficult for me to choose one I should have choose top 10 or something like that, but this time we are only going for one. The reason we have chosen that particular assignment is because of one reason. Whatever topic we have discussed in this session during the class, only those things have been used. In some of the solution which we have not chosen, the solution was very good. The only problem is they have used something extra like classes and methods, which we have not talked about. A few of the solutions were very optimized in terms of number of lines, but then it was very specific to the code which we have written. The size maybe 6 or 7. There was a hard values. Now this particular solution which I have chosen actually used n as a number, I mean as a variable, and the value is assigned to n. So in lengthy, you should have been it should have been optimized, which is good. So let me share the code, and the winner for this particular assignment is, let me share my screen. So this particular assignment is Lokesh. So Lokesh, congratulations. I need to check your full name. It is so you can see the GitHub repository here, Lokesh XS. If you want to try this out, you can just search for this particular username on GitHub, Lokesh XS, and you can look at the repository, which is Telusko, and there's a code available here. Let me just talk about the bad things about this code first. It's very, very lengthy. Trust me, I'm not a big fan of big code. If you can do that in few lines, properly optimized, I love that. But this is the only particular code where n has been used everywhere. So if I make one change in the number, example, if I go up here on top, and if I make one change here by saying 7 to 5 or 7 to maybe 9, it will work. Give me 1 second. Let me just switch from Wi-Fi to network. Okay, I'm just checking. I have just switched from Wi-Fi to LAN. Can you still see my messages? Okay, awesome. I can see the messages. That means it is working. So now it should not be, there should not be any buffering there. Okay, so basically this is the winner. So congratulations, Lokesh. I'm not sure if you're watching this, but we will send you the mail on your email ID, which you have mentioned while submitting the assignment. And I hope you will be responding in 1 week so that we can send you the prizes. Okay, Lohit says use Kahoot because it's unhackable. Maybe let me try out. Let me try out. See, the only problem which I see is all these platforms are actually paid platforms. Even I paid for Mentimeter. Okay, again I have to use Kahoot. I have to pay for that as well. So let me try. Okay, Shivanand says we need one clear video about Java full stack course. Oh, is it? Okay. Let me try. Tomorrow I'm going to Bangalore. I will do a recording there itself. Awesome. So everything looks good. Akshay says use test Gorilla. I will pay. Okay, Akshay, don't worry. If it is good, I'm ready to purchase or subscribe for that service. Awesome. So a lot of people have already joined. We can start with the session. So topic for today is constructor. So we are going to talk about. In fact, we'll move towards. So we'll move from classes object to constructor. I guess the pen is very thin today. Yeah, and then we are going to talk about encapsulation. Okay, something is going wrong with this pencil. So recording started. Okay, Priyanka is asking, will you be the trainer for the Java full stack? I'll be the lead trainer. Okay, let me just talk about, I'll be the lead trainer. Okay, let me just talk about, I'll be the lead trainer for the course. Don't worry, I will separately make the video on that. In fact, I want to talk about, since we are discussing about this, about where do you submit your assignment, because a lot of people were asking, how do we submit the assignment, from where we'll get the notes. So let me take you to the, let me just sign up from my account here. Okay, let me just log into my account first, and then I will share my screen. Yeah, today we don't have a Menti. If you just came for the Menti, you can just do something productive. But if you are here to learn Java, stay tuned. Sharing my screen again. Okay, so basically, if you want to access the course content, what you have to do is, first of all, you have to make sure that you have enrolled for this course. This course is free, right? And it is, so you can see we have the timing is 7 to 8, which we are doing now. Okay, so if you go to the courses, this is where you have all the content. So day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. This is day 7. The video will be uploaded soon. And then this is where you have the assignments. Okay, and there will be notes section as well. Example, if you go to day 3, if you want to get the notes of day 3, this is where you will get it. So resources, class, notes, and codes. You can click on this and you will get the access for the code, as well as you will get the access for the PDF, the notes which I'm writing here. Okay, so this is where you can submit your assignment. This is where you can get the notes. So everything is available, and you will find this link in the description, the course syllabus and course details. You will find it here. Awesome. And there's also one more feature of quiz here. I'm not sure if this will be real time. This will not be real time. This you can do this quiz later, but let me see if I can try that. Awesome. Okay, Priyanka is asking, what's the proficiency level for Java developer course? Priyanka, I don't know if you have seen the syllabus of the course is, let me show you the syllabus as well. Now, since we're talking about it, let me search for Java. Yeah. Now the course name itself is Enterprise. Okay, this is, so basically, I'm not sure if you know this, I'm also a corporate trainer. So I do take corporate training for different companies. And whatever course content which I take there, okay, so this is for the corporate. Whatever course content we do that, I have taken the same course content, similar, and then it is assigned here. So if you expand, if you can see, everything is mentioned, Java, Core Java, JUnit, which normally people skip. Then we'll also talk about NoSQL database, Hibernate, Spring Boot. So this is basically not a course. This is like bombardment of topics. Okay, it's huge. It's huge. Sometimes even I get concerned if you can learn everything with that much of confidence. Okay, because this is huge topic, and it is challenging for us as well to teach this. And yeah, that's a challenge. The challenge is, how can we do that everything in 4,000, and we are trying to achieve that. Okay, so this is a fully corporate course content. And okay, will I be teaching this course? Yes, I will be the lead trainer. And then we have Haider Abbas as well, who will be my co-trainer here. But I'll be leading the batch. Okay, now with this, let's get back to our topic for today. Let's talk about classes and object. Now, just to give you a quick revision, what we have done till now, we have talked about the classes, we have talked about objects. I'm just not able to find the code. I don't know where that code went. Is recent project, open recent. Oh yeah, so this is where our code was lying. Okay, so basically this is what we have done in the last session, right? We have worked with alien object, alien class basically. And so alien class, we have 3 variables. One is name, age, and tag. In fact, we have 4 variables, which is in this case, we also have salary here. Okay, and then we have okay, one more thing I forgot to mention. I don't know if I mentioned that before. So basically, when we were doing this live session, and everyone is enjoying it, and a lot of people are already watching this. How about having a separate session only for doubt solving and not just one-way communication? Because YouTube is more one-way communication, right? Yes, I can see your chat, but that's into a chat window, right? What if you can ask your question live? So basically, I'm planning to arrange a doubt solving session. Harsh, can you do a poll? How many of them want a doubt solving? Maybe I can just do a poll here. How about doing a Zoom call for doubt solving? Okay, and this will be, uh, of course, we need to keep a limitation there. So I will, if you say yes, I will create a Google form, and maybe next week, somewhere around Tuesday or Wednesday, we can have a separate doubt solving session. But it will not be just on YouTube. It will be a Zoom call so that we can interact personally. So I'll be there. Haider Abbas, who is my co-trainer, will also be there. It will be one live. Let's start with one live session and let's see how that works out. Okay, cool. Awesome. So let me go back to my code here and what we're doing. So basically we were working with objects and classes, right? So now we know whenever you want to create the object, the first thing you will do is you will create a class. And this is what we have here. We have a very simple class which is called an alien. And in this alien class, we were able to create variables. So you can create variables and you can create methods. So basically every object knows something and every object does something. So in this case, when I say alien object, we have a code which is a behavior of an object. Now think about humans. Of course, you are human, I'm human. I'm talking about the real world. In virtual world, we are aliens. So in real world, when I say we are humans, we all are object of a same class, right? So there's a human class and we all are object of the same class. But what is similar between us? We all have almost the same methods, right? So example, if we talk about human class, what a human class will have? Human class will have eat, dance, talk, walk, maybe sing, or maybe what else we can do? We can hear, we can see, right? So all these are actually methods what we have. But then we also have variables. In our brain, we have some variables, right? We have name, of course, name variable, age variable, salary variable, your favorite actor variable, and all those things. So when we say we have all these things, we have all this data in our mind, do you think we all have same data? Example, if I say, what is my name? My name is Navin Reddy. Your name is different. My age is different. Your age is different. My favorite technology is different. Your favorite technology is different. My favorite actor is different. Your favorite actor is different, right? So basically, we have the almost same behavior. So class will have almost the same behavior, but what will change is the data. Every class will hold a different data, right? And how do we define that? So we create an object and then we assign the data. We can fetch the data. So one important point to remember is we will be having, every object will have a different data. That's the idea we have to take away with. Now what I will do for time being is, let me remove this method. Let's only work with the variables here. Let me remove this, and yeah, we have 3 variables, or we have 4 variables. Let me remove this salary as well. Let me stick to these 3 variables here, okay? And then we got one object. And then we have discussed one more thing. Whenever you talk about objects, we can have multiple objects here, and every object will have a different data. Okay. Do the poll on YouTube only for the question. Yeah. Okay, Nagesh says I have enrolled for both the courses. Awesome, Nagesh. You are going to spend your weekend learning about Java and blockchain. Awesome. Okay, so I can see a lot of people already voted, and majority is yes, of course, that's expected, right? Okay, so I will share the link in the community tab soon for the Zoom call. So I'm ending this poll now. Okay, cool. So basically with this, we can have, let me remove the salary as well. So basically we can create multiple objects. That's the point to remember. Now what happens, let me talk about this thing. What is happening here? What is this line? Okay, so we have a class here. And then when I say you want to access, if you want to access any particular variable, you basically need the object, right? And then we have written this line for the object creation. Okay, so basically what is happening here? See, what happens is in your memory, if I go back and let me share my screen, let me clear this. Change the color to green, change the color to yellow. Okay, so basically what happens, when we talk about your object creation, so in Java, when I say I'm creating an object, what basically happens is it uses different memories. So we can represent that memory with the help of this image. So let's say we have, we know that Java programs basically runs on one thing. So we have something called a JVM, right? Now JVM is actually a virtual machine where you run your code. Okay, so everything is running inside your JVM. Now, whenever you talk about JVM, JVM takes all the help from the outer layer. So JVM is part of a bigger box. Anyone knows what that bigger box is called as? So this bigger box here is called a JRE. Now see, imagine JVM as a kitchen. Or maybe I have a question for everyone. What if you want to cook something? Maybe you want to make a Maggie because that's what we can cook. Okay, so the only thing I can do in the kitchen is to make a tea or a Maggie. I don't know how to cook properly. So basically, let's say if you want to cook something, where you will go? Will you cook the food in your kitchen or will you cook your food in the bedroom or the hall? What do you think? And of course, I would say, I know you'll be answering as kitchen, but why do you think it is kitchen? Why not bedroom or a hall? Now, first of all, cooking in a bedroom will be risky because, of course, it's dangerous, right? But why not hall? The problem is when you cook something, you need extra things, right? You need that stove, you need a cylinder. I mean, of course, a gas connection. You need a lot of extra boxes which has different raw materials, right? So you need everything in that. You will be having everything in the kitchen. So basically, that kitchen platform is your JVM, which has the basic things to run stuff. But to make something, you need extra boxes, you need extra raw materials. Now, those things will be coming from the JRE. So if Java program says, I want to execute here, it needs certain extra libraries, certain extra things, and those things will be provided by your JRE. Now, JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment. Okay, so basically everything which you run is in JVM. But in JVM itself, when you talk about the memory, there are different types of memory for the object. So when you talk about you are working with the object, there are different type of memory which we use. Now, one type of memory, I don't know if you have learned about data structures or something. We have this very famous thing called stack. Anyone, what you know what your stack means? So basically, whenever you want to store data, you store that in a bunch, maybe a stack or a queue. So queue is basically this. Queue looks like something like this. So when I talk about queue, a data structure, it looks something like this. This is a queue, and let's say we can have multiple elements here. So queue basically follows first in, first out, which means if you insert something from this side, it will come out from this side. So whatever goes in first will come out first. Example, when you want to when you go to watch a movie, you get into line, right? The queue. So the first person who enters into the queue will be coming out first. But in case of stack, it is reverse. It's like stack of books. So the last book which went up on the stack will come out first, right? And Yeah, so stack basically goes for last in, first out. Uh, Now, whenever you talk about memories in or methods call or all this execution of methods and functions, they actually happens in a stack. Again, we'll discuss later why stack is preferred than queue, but stack makes much more sense. In fact, you know, which your in Windows, when you say Alt Tab, the so Alt Tab is basically you can see all the tabs which are open, right? So which is the last, which is the first tab you will see? The last tab which is closed, right? So even this thing also use stack there. Awesome. Yeah. So basically, if you want to work with objects, or let's start with variables first, or maybe let's talk about stack. So basically, you have this thing called a stack memory. Imagine this is your stack memory, and it will have two things. Again, what is those two things are? We'll discuss later. And then there is another memory which is free-flowing memory, which is called a heap memory. Now, why I have drawn something like a bubble here is because this will be a free size memory. I hope you can see that. Okay, so basically this is the memory which I've created here is actually called as a stack, and this one is heap. This is your heap. Okay, so what happens is every time you create a data, let's say I'm writing some code here. So let's say this is your main method. This is your main method. And inside this main method, the first thing you're doing is you're saying int a comma b, and then a is equal to 6. If you can see the text. Yeah. So if a is 6 and b is 7, in this case, what happens is this data is actually goes into a stack. Now, this particular stack is actually a main stack because every method will have its own stack memory. So whenever you create a variable like this, it will create a variable a. So the first column will be the variable name, and the second column will be your data. So a is 6, and b is 7. That's how we create a variable here. That's how we save data, right? But what if inside this you have one more statement now? Let's say I want to create an object. How will you create an object here? First of all, let me just write the name itself here. So this is your heap memory. So let's say I want to create an object. How will you create the object? It's very simple. Let's say you have an alien class. And if you want to create object of alien class, you will say alien obj. Now, why I have to say alien obj? First of all, every variable needs a name. So this obj is basically a name. Instead of obj, I can also write a name of a person, or maybe I can say A1. Doesn't matter. Your name can be anything. So let's say this is A1, which is your variable. Alien is a type of a variable. Example, when you say A, the type is integer, int. What about A1? The type is alien. Then you specify the value as well. So in this case, we are saying the value of A is 6. So we are saying the value is not actually a primitive value. This is an object. Now, how do we create an object? So every time you say you are creating an object, basically we have to create a new object, a new space. So every object needs a new space. And to get that, we use a keyword called new. So new basically means getting the new memory. Okay. Now, where you will get the memory? In the heap memory. So this is where in the heap you will get the memory. And then you have to also pass something called a constructor. Okay, so on this side you have a constructor. Now, what is a constructor? We'll discuss that later. But this is how this particular line, this particular section is actually creating an object. So new alien means an object. The moment you do that, the moment you specify this particular section, this will create an object for you. This is your alien object. Okay, and this will have an address. Just for the simplicity, I'm saying the address is 101. Okay, just for simplicity. And now my question is, if you are saying this particular line, new alien is an object, what is this A1 here? Is it an object? Will you call this A1 as an object? And the answer is no. This A1 here is actually called a reference. Let me repeat. This A1 is called a reference. And now question arises, if this new alien goes to the heap memory, where this A1 will be going? A1 will be going into the stack memory. This is where A1 will be. And now my question for everyone, if this is where your A1 will be, what about the value? What is the value for A1? Come on, everyone. What do you think? What is the value for A1? Okay, so the value for A1 is actually 101. So the value for A1 is 101. So basically you are trying to create a link here. So this is a link between your stack and heap memory. So you have a reference there. Okay, Pawa says it's a visiting card for alien. That's right. So if you want to access to this alien object, which is there as 101, you will be using A1. Now this inside this 101, inside this alien object, you will have some values there. Okay, so let's say you will be having a variable which is what value variables we have in the code. So basically we have a name. So let's say name is Navin, and you have an age which is 30, and then you have a technology which is blockchain. So basically you have all this data there. Now if you want to fetch any of that data, you need to use A1. Without A1 you can't do that. So let me repeat. Whenever you create an object goes inside an heap memory, and whenever you create a variable, so this A1, A, B, those are local variables, and all these variables actually goes inside a stack. Okay. Now why I'm calling this as a local variable is because we are creating them inside a method. So whenever you create a variable inside a method, it is called a local variable. So this is a local variable. Cool. So these things are local variable. But what about the variables which are created inside the alien class? So if I show you here the alien class, this variable here, they are not called local variables. They are basically called just a second. What's wrong with my phone? Yeah. So basically they are called instance variable. Yeah. So all the variables which are created inside a method, they are called local variable, and variables which are created inside a class is called instance variable. Now we don't have a concept of global variable in Java, and Sandeep says super local. Yeah, that should be a good name, right? But yeah, I don't know why these people went for instance variable name. They should have consulted Sandeep before naming it super local. Okay, anyway, joke aside, we have they're called instance variable. Cool. Okay. And now with this image in mind, I have a question for everyone. If I continue with the same image, and do I do it? I'll just try to write it here itself. Now imagine whatever I'm writing on this side is actually a part of my main method itself. Okay. Okay. So now I have a question for everyone. Can I change the value of A? Yes or no? Of course, yes, right? So this A variable, I can change the value. So what if I say A is equal to 8? What happens is this 6 will be replaced by 8, right? Can I change the value of B? Of course we can. What about this line? If I say A1 is equal to new alien. So the first question I have for everyone is, what happens on this line? Are we creating a new object or what? Okay, so what happens on this line is the moment you say A1 is equal to new alien, every time you say new alien, it will create a new object here. So let's say I'm creating a new object here. This is a new object. The address is 103 in this case, let's say. And then this is also an alien object. And now what happens is this A1 is not referring to 101. So this link is broken. This is actually referring to 103. So the new value here is not 101. The new value is 103. Cool. So every time you assign a new object to a variable, that reference is referring to the new object, not the old object now. And now question arises, in total, how many objects we have in memory for alien? We have 2 objects. One is still referenced and the other is not referenced now. So the other is not referenced. No one loves this object anymore. So what will happen to this particular object? Now this particular object, in technical term, we can say this object is eligible for garbage collection. Now let me give you an example here. Now this is basically a Telusko sticker. I don't know if you can see that. This is Telusko sticker which we just found somewhere in my closet. So this is the Telusko sticker which we made 3 years back. So basically this is a sticker, right? Now this is a piece of paper. Now what happens is, let's say if someone is cleaning the room, okay, and then they find a object sitting on the floor, maybe like a toothpaste cover. So if there's a toothpaste cover which you recently bought and it only has a cover, if it is there on the floor and you are cleaning the room, what do you think? Will you remove it or will you keep it with you? So whenever you clean your room, every object which is referenced, which you are saying, hey, that's my object, don't touch, that will be staying with you. But if you don't specify that that object belongs to you, it will be cleaned as well. In the same way, if we talk about these 2 objects here, garbage collector comes in every 2 minutes. Let's say we are not specific with time here, but then garbage collector has a cycle. So let's say garbage collector comes after 2 minutes by saying, hey, I'm here. I want to remove all the, that's right, kacharas in the heap memory, all the garbage from the heap memory. So it will remove all the unreferenced objects. So in this case, the 101 is not referenced, so it will be removed. Is it making sense, everyone? Hers says no. Doesn't make sense. Anyway, awesome. Anything else to remember here? Yeah, so now I have a question for everyone. Let's see if you can answer this. If I want to create an object, just create an object, can I say this line? Will this work? Tell me. If I just say new alien, can I create object only by adding this line? Okay, Anurag, Lohit, at what point you got stuck? This is actually basically we're trying to understand how memory works. This is a bit a complex topic. That's right, Sirish. Now, the reason I said that in Java we don't have a garbage value is because in Java we have garbage collector. So at the moment you have a garbage value, it will be collected, it will be cleaned. And that's why there's no garbage value. So there's a separate process called garbage collector in Java, which cleans all the garbage from the memory. Okay, so with this line, when I say new alien, even this is creating an object. So the new object is getting created here, and this is 105. The only problem with this is it is not referenced. There is no reference for this object in your stack. So once you execute this line, once you go out, now this object is eligible for garbage collection. So basically you can't use this object anymore. Okay. This is not a wrong code. It will still work. The only problem is you can't access this object anymore. Okay. Now the fun part is If you look at this alien bracket, if you look at this particular section here on any section, for any object, if you look at this particular section here, we are saying alien and then we are giving around brackets. The moment you talk about a name which looks similar, so if you look at this one, it looks similar, it has the same as class name, the name is same as class name, and also it looks like a method. Right? So whenever you have something like this, which looks like which has the same name as class name and which looks like a method, this is actually called a constructor. Okay. Now, how do we create a constructor? It's very simple. So if I go back to the same class alien, what I can do is I can just remove this particular section, and here I'm not sharing my screen for code. Okay. So if I go back here, I can create a constructor. How do we create a method? So example, if I want to create a method which is public, let's say show method. So I would say public void show. This is how you create a method, right? And then we have discussed that the method name is show, and this void simply means it is not returning a value. What if I want to create a constructor? So in this case, instead of show, you have to use the same name as class name. So class name is alien. I'm using an alien here. And one more thing, constructor never returns a value. So you don't have to mention, is it void, is it int, nothing. In constructor case, you don't have to mention anything there. Okay, hackers method says, is using a new keyword is a good practice. See, in core Java, you don't have an option. You have to use a new keyword. But yes, once you move towards advanced framework for Java, example Spring, we don't have to. Using new keyword is not a suggested way. Right. So basically, in the constructor, we don't specify any return type. So you just say constructor, and I can print here in constructor, right? Now with this, let me also create a method. So let's say I also have a method which is show, and in show I'm printing in show. So basically I got two things. I got a constructor and I got a show method here, right? Now I want to call them. How do I call it? So I can just remove everything here. I just want to call a method. So, okay, let me remove this line as well. So let's say I want to call this show method. Can I do that? So basically, the moment I try to call show method, it will not work because show method belongs to some other class. You can see show is belong to this class, which is alien. So in this case, we have to create object of alien. How do we do that? We say alien a1 is equal to new alien, right? And with this a1, I can simply say a1 dot show, right? I'm just trying to make some changes here. What can I do this? Can I simply say a semicolon here and a1 equal to new alien? Can we do that? We can, right? We can do this as well. Okay. Now with this, I have one more thing. Okay. With this, I have one more thing. What if, I mean, in maths, we have this concept, right? If x is equal to y, we can use y anywhere we have x, right? So here, instead of using a1, can I say new alien dot show? Don't even mention these two things. If I just want to call show, can I say new alien dot show? Right? So even this should work. So new alien dot show, if I, of course, this will call show. If I run this code, you can see we got in show. But with that, we also got in constructor. And nowhere I'm calling a constructor. So the idea is every time you create an object, it will call a constructor. So let me write into the notes. Constructor will be called whenever we create an object. So the moment you create an object, it will call a constructor. Cool. Now, this particular object, when you say new alien, you can see we don't have a reference to it. Now, this type of objects where you don't have a reference, they are called anonymous objects, or object without a name. Cool. Awesome. That's right. We are not using any object reference here. Okay. But then let's go with the older technique which we were using. So we'll say alien A1 is equal to new alien. And then this is actually a good way of creating an object and calling the method, because you can reuse the objects. If you have an object which has a reference to it, in this case, A1 is a reference for the object, you can reuse this object, right? But if you simply say new alien, then we can't reuse it. But if you are sure that the object will be used only once, anonymous object actually makes sense. Cool. Awesome, everyone. And now what I will do is, I will just remove, yeah, this works. So will it call the constructor as well? Yes, because even this is creating an object, so it will do that. Now I have a question for everyone. If I say A1 is equal to new alien, tell me the output. Write the output in the chat window and let's see what happens. Will it call, so basically my question is, will it call constructor only once or two times? So will it call the constructor only once or two times? Let me run this code and let's see what happens. It is calling the constructor two times because we are creating object two times. So in total for these two lines, we got two objects and only one reference. That's right. So every time you create an object, because even here we are creating an object, the reference is same, right? Reference is not changing. The object is getting created again. And every time you create a new object, it will call the constructor. This is an important point to remember. Awesome. Now, if you have enjoyed this session till this point, hit that like button, everyone. Just to know, I will know that you are enjoying this session. Awesome. Now what I will do is I will just do some experiment with this thing. In fact, not this experiment. Let's talk about something interesting. First of all, why do we need a constructor? See, constructor is used for the backend for your code. I mean, your JVM needs constructor. Apart from that, as a programmer, when you write a code, you can use constructor for your own use. Example, let's say, what if I'm just creating this variable, but I'm not assigning the value to it? So all these variables are actually blank. Example, when you are born, you don't have a name. You don't, I mean, of course, your age will be 0 by default. So let's say age is 0. Because when you're born, you don't have a name, your age is 0, and technology, you don't even know what technology is. So after you're born, after some time, you will be getting some values, right? But what if I will just come back here, I'll do one more thing. In this show, instead of printing in show, let me print the value here. So I will say name. I want to print the name of a person. I want to print the name and the variable, right? So basically I want to print the name. So I can say name. See, variable should be outside. So I'm printing name and name. And then I also want to give a space in between. So you have to say, so whenever you concatenate between a string and a variable, you have to use plus. So string should be a part of double quotes. Then you will say plus to concatenate it, to join it. Then you say name, the variable. Again, you can use plus, and here I'm just dividing it. Plus, or maybe this is confusing for you, right? We should do that later. Just a name. I'm printing name, I'm printing age, and I'm printing technology. See, by default, when you don't assign the values, as you can see, nowhere I have assigned the values. Even age has a default value. Let me remove that as well. So nowhere I'm mentioning the values. And if you don't mention the values, and if you try to print a1.show, what happens? In fact, just to simplify this, I will do one more thing. It's always better to put your classes, a different class, in different file itself. So what I can do here is, let me create a separate file, and I will name that file as alien. Okay, so we got a separate class, separate alien class, and I will just just keep it parallel so that you can see both the codes. Okay, this should be visible. Awesome. So you can see in show we are printing all the values, and now if I run this code, let's see what happens. The default values will be printed. The default value for a string variable is null. So default value for string is null. The default value for age, which is integer, is 0. The default value for technology, which is a string, is null again. And that's why you got null, 0, and null. But now I want to assign the values. There are multiple ways of doing that. The first way is you can just come back here and say, hey, the value of name, I want it to be, for this particular alien is Naveen. The value for age is, let's say, 30, and the value for tech is, let's say, Java. Okay, and then we can create multiple objects. I can just copy this. I can create one more object here. This is a2, a different object, and a2.name, a2.age, a2.tech, and a2.show. And let's assign some different values. Who has a recent comment? We have Lohit here. And Lohit, your age, I guess you're in college, right? You're in school, I guess. So my guess is your age is 14. And your favorite technology at this point is Java because you're learning Java. Or maybe in future you want to learn blockchain, so I will say blockchain. Okay, I'm just guessing your age, Lohit. That is fine. Okay, so in total, I got 2 objects with 2 different values, right? And now, if I run this code, this will work. You can see we got 2 different objects. First of all, we got 2 constructors because we got 2 objects. And then the first object has this values, and the second object has this values. Okay, Lohit says 13. Yeah, 14 should work, right, Lohit? I was close. Oh, you love Python. Okay, we'll do that. Only for you, Lohit. Okay, cool. So 1330 sounds similar. Anyway, so basically we have these 2 things, right? We got these 2 objects and we are able to call it. But don't you think if you are assigning the values later, can we just pass the values the moment you create the object? See, what is happening here is you are creating an object and then you are assigning a value. What if in this bracket itself, in the round brackets, we can pass a value? Example, you know what happens? The moment you are born, you get a name. Right? Nowadays, it is very fast. In fact, few people do that even before they are born. So they assign a name to it, or name to the baby. Maybe so the moment you are born, you get a name. So basically, I'm going to be so my second baby is on the way, and we are thinking about names. The moment he or she is born, we'll assign a name. So basically, what if these two values are coming later, but I want to assign the name the moment I create alien object? So we can do that. We can pass the name here itself in the constructor. So I'm passing the value as the way you do it for the methods, we can pass the values there as well. And here as well, we can pass a value. Yeah, that's right. No one names Naveen when they are born, right? Let's say, what is my nickname? Doesn't matter. Let's say Chintu. Someone is suggesting Chintu. I will go with that. Black says Chintu. Okay, we'll do that. So let's say I'm passing Chintu the moment born, and then let's say for the second object, I choose not to pass it here. Maybe I choose to pass it later. So in that case, what we can do here is because see, if you talk about this particular constructor, it is not accepting any value. So what we can do is we can create one more constructor with the same name. Oh, that will be tricky, right? How can you have two methods or two constructors with the same name? Because it will be confusing, right? So we can differentiate between two different constructors with the help of a signature. How about we accept a string argument? Because you're passing a string variable, right? So you can accept it here. And so normally whenever you pass a value in a constructor, we call it as a parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. And the concept where you have multiple constructors in the same class, it's called constructor overloading. Okay. Awesome. That's right. So method signature is actually the name plus arguments. That's right. Oh, thank you so much, everyone. Okay, Som says, can I see this live video later? Yes, this recording will be available, don't worry. Awesome. So basically we have talked about constructor overloading as well, and this is how you pass the value. So you can set the initial values and you can get the initial values. Okay, and now we are going for the next topic and then we'll be ending the session. So to understand next topic, what I will do is I will just make this as smaller. Okay, let me remove the constructor part from here and the method part as well. Let me remove the method as well. And let me just clean this code a bit. Okay, we're not passing the value. Okay, so let's say a very simple class. We only have three variables. We got name, age, and tech. Okay, and now from this class, so basically understand this. Alien class, alien has a different file. Project.java is a different file. There are two different files, right? And now what I'm doing is I'm trying to create alien object. Now my question for everyone is, can I access these objects here? Can I access the variables? I can, right? I can say a1.name is equal to, or maybe I have my name here itself. I will say my name is Naveen and the age is 30. I will assign the values back here. And the tech is blockchain. Okay, the question from Faruquddin is, why didn't you import alien file in project? So the thing is, if you look at my project structure, which you can't see as of now, the project and alien are in same folder. So when they're in the same folder, we don't have to specify the package. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so basically we have this variable, right? We have name, which is Naveen, and I'm trying to access that Naveen. Let's say I'm trying to print Naveen, name value of I. I will say A1 dot name, and if I run this code, will it print? You can see we got Naveen. It is printing. Now you might be saying, what is wrong with it? It is actually wrong. You know why? For that, let me give an example here. Hush, come here. Fast, fast. So a very simple example. Basically, I believe the data should always be private, right? And then this project class is basically trying to getting access of the alien class as well, and we don't want it. So Harsh, you are visible on the camera. Okay, I will ask you some questions you have to answer, right? So basically, imagine this, everyone. This is Harsh brain. So it should be here. So let's say this. So we have all the values here, right? Example, you know your name, you know your age, you know who is your favorite actor.
Yes.
Okay, you know who is the Prime Minister of India.
Yes.
Okay, you know which phone you are using.
Yes.
Awesome. So all these values, I mean, Harsh knows everything, and everything is stored here, right? And basically, I can access that, right? I can ask for the values from Harsh. Harsh, what is your name?
Harsh.
Where do you stay?
Kalyan.
Okay. Who is your favorite actor?
Saurabh.
Shah Rukh Khan. Okay. What is your Facebook password?
Star, 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 star.
Okay. What's your girlfriend name?
Star, 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 star.
So basically, what is happening here is everything is stored here, right? And then I'm not able to get access of all the data. Of course, I was able to get his name. I was able to get who is your favorite actor? Where do you stay? But the moment I ask you about your favorite, I mean, your not favorite girlfriend, but your girlfriend name and your Facebook password, basically, you're not revealing it, right? Okay, people can't hear us. That's the
Yes.
issue. Okay. So basically, he is not sharing all the information. So if I know if the data is here, I can just take a hammer, which I can't see anymore. Maybe I can take a lightsaber. That's what you say for, I forgot the series name as well, Star Wars. I can break his head and I can take all the values. Imagine we have some boxes here, small variables, and I can take all the values and I can break those things, and each box will have a value. It will have your girlfriend name, it will have your Facebook password, different blocks. It will also have who's your favorite actor and your favorite trainer. Who's your favorite trainer?
Naveen Reddy.
Oh, you don't have a choice, right? Okay, thank you so much. So can we do this? Can we just break his head and get all the values? See, the problem is we can't do that. So the only way to access that data, because everything is here, right? So the only way to access that data is with the help of some methods. Example, if you want to know who is my favorite actor, you have to ask and then I will answer. So I have a way to give you the answer. Okay, Black says, can we see the demo? No, I don't want to break his head. So basically, this is how you give the values, right? So this is the way you give the value. You can't break my head to get the values. If you want to know my age, I have to tell you by my mouth, or maybe I can write it somewhere. So basically, the idea is whenever you want to fetch the value, you can't simply break the head and get it. You have to ask for it and you will get the value. Now, it is depend upon me what I want to share and what I don't want to share. Example, in this case, maybe I want to share my name. I don't want to share my age and my technology with anyone. Right? Okay. Who is Sahil? Why Sahil will fail tomorrow? Weird. Okay, anyway. So basically the idea here is what is happening is the outside class is actually able to get access for all the variables. We don't want that. So if you want to stop this access, first of all, you have to make all the variables as private. So remember this, always make your data private. Right. So basically what you have to do is you have to make all the variables private, and the moment you do that, look at there is an error here. It says name has a private access in alien. So basically you can't access this alien variable here. Okay. Now the name variable. So the only way to access it is with the help of method. So what you have to do is create a method which will return a name. A name is a format of string, and I can say get name, and you can return a value which is name. So basically what you're doing is you are returning a value. So name is accessible in the same class, because when you make a variable private, it is accessible in the same class, but it is not accessible outside the class. So basically, how do we get this? So in this case, you cannot say name, but you can say get name. So remember this thing, always make your variable private, and the only way to access them is with the help of methods. And this concept where you're making your variables private and your methods public to access them is called encapsulation, because you're capsulating your data there. Okay, if you liked this example, hit that like button so that I will know you enjoyed the example. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Okay, now I was expecting this question. I was just waiting for this question. Chetan says, sir, but what is actually benefit of this? Anyway, we are able to access it, right? That is correct. But then the only problem is, the advantage is in getName, it's a method, right? So before returning the value, you can actually check for the conditions. Maybe you can check who is trying to call this method. Basically, you can check if the account has been logged in. So you can check all the values. Now, since it's a method, you can do pre-processing before giving data. Example, let's say you are walking on a street and someone is asking for your name. Maybe you will say just a name, right? You will reveal your name. What if someone who knows you want to know your age? You will not be hesitant to reveal your age, right? But what if an unknown person on a street is asking for the age? So basically, you can put those conditions inside a method. That's the idea. Make your variables private, and the way you should be able to access that is with the help of methods, because you can do those processing in the method. Awesome. And now since we have three variables, we need to get three methods, right? So basically, the signature we normally go with is, if your variable name is name, try to put it get name. Again, there is no compulsion to it. You can use any name, but the standards the standards follows by saying use a get keyword, then the variable name. Okay. Again, you can change it. You can say मुझे name का value चाहिए. Again, this is a Hindi sentence to get name. If you don't know Hindi, that's completely fine, but just for fun, you can have it, any name, doesn't matter. Here, just use that particular name, and this should work. You can say we got Naveen. But again, the standard says use get name. Awesome. Now, so we have three variables, right? We are done only for name here. So if you want it for other variables, what you can do is, of course, you can type. So what do you think for what should be for age? It should be get age. And then you have to make sure that when you combine two words, you have to make sure that the first letter of the second word should be capital. Example, when I say get name, if I say get name, it is difficult to read, right? So in this case, if you make capital N, it is easy to read. Now this is called camel kissing rule, but we'll discuss that tomorrow. What is camel kissing rule? How do we name it? But here as well, we can say public int because it's an int type and get age. So you have a way you can do this, or since you are using IDE, you can simply right click here and say generate getters. Now which methods you want, select all the, which variables you want, select all the variables, click on OK, and you are done. Right? Okay, so today we have discussed about encapsulation, but only get method. In the tomorrow session, we are going to discuss about, not tomorrow, that's right, on Tuesday. Maybe tomorrow we can do that if we get enough time there. I will try to take a session tomorrow as well, but if not, we can take it on Tuesday. Apart from this, you will get the notes. I will upload these notes on the portal. So this is a portal which I was talking about, not this one. Okay. Yeah, the Java course, and you will get the access to it. Maybe you can find the link in description for the portal. Okay. Anyone have any questions regarding the course, the Java Enterprise course? Because I was seeing some questions, but I thought let's discuss that after this session. Okay, we can do it for next 3 minutes and then we are done. Camera is done almost. Okay, no problem. Okay, I will send the exercise. So you go to the portal there. The link is in the description. Go to the portal. In the assignment section, I will put the assignments by tomorrow. Okay, Sirish Jaiswal says, in the Java course, there are pre-recorded videos. Is it mandatory to watch? It will be beneficial if you watch those videos, but again, not compulsion. Yeah, this is a job-ready course, not a job placement. If you have learned this, it will be easier for you to get a job then. Okay, Monish says, I have enrolled for the course. Awesome, Monish. See you in the course. Prashant says, this kind of explanation may not be available in paid course. It is there in my course. The only thing is the moment I get more audience, I get excited and I take the examples from the real world. Okay, what about today's mentee? No mentee, at least for a few days, till I find a good replacement for that. Joy, you have a question on blockchain course? Okay, just a heads up, this course is getting launched on 9th of July. And if you want, so this is 4,000, but you can get 10% discount. You can find the link in description. Use that particular link and you will get 10% off as well. Okay, Mohammed says enroll for the course. See you in the course, and Mohammed. What will be blockchain? Is that a question, or you want to know about the blockchain course? Okay. In fact, the kind of example we have used for encapsulation, more examples are on the way. So OOPS concept is full of amazing examples. Don't worry. Okay, Joy says, what will become in blockchain? You can see the course content. Just go to this portal. You will find a link in description for the blockchain course and you can access from there. Okay, in blockchain, HTML, CSS, JavaScript also live or recorded? No, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript will be recorded. Apart from that, Node will also be live. Will you teach microservices in the course? Yes, microservices is also included. Okay, RB Creative says that your Java community class is better than any paid course. Oh, thank you so much. I have not seen the paid course of others, but thank you so much. Okay, Hackers Method says, is the value of Java is decreasing? See, Java is there from a long time and it will be there for a long time. For one reason, it's not just one language. It's a complete technology. Most of the languages are actually running on Java. I can see that on it's working. Yeah, so there are a lot of technologies, a lot of languages which are running on Java. So it's not going away. It's just that all the projects are still working on Java. Yes, there are some demand for the new languages which are coming up, but Java has its demand for sure. Okay, Rajnikant says, Naveen, are you in the Java full stack course? Yes, I'm the lead trainer for that course. Day 7 link is not available. Okay, I will ask them to add that today itself. Okay, that's it, everyone. See you in the next live session, which is happening on Tuesday. I hope you will be there and enjoy your weekend. Bye bye, everyone.